Welcome back to Momentum Academy. In this lesson, we're diving into the practical side of the UX module. We're heading back into Bubble and continuing our landing page project. In this part of the course, we'll build on what we created in Module 1. We will add 3 new sections: the testimonials, contact us, and the footer. We'll keep everything in mid-fidelity, which means we'll work in grayscale, no colours or fancy graphics yet. That way, we can focus purely on structure and spacing without getting distracted by visual design. Once the layout is right, we'll move on to improving the user experience with data validation, animations, and small interactions that make the page feel more polished. So, let's jump in. Before we start adding new sections, here's a quick recap of what we've already done. We created a single page layout using the index page, and we set the page's container alignment to column. Remember why? Because each section of the landing page stacks vertically. The header sits on top, then the hero, then the services, all running down the page in one long column. In this module, we'll keep building downward by adding the testimonials, the contact us form, and finally the footer. By the end of this module, we'll have the complete mid-fidelity layout of our landing page ready to refine later. Now there's one key principle to remember as we build. The height of each section should be defined by its content. That means the groups automatically grow just tall enough to fit whatever is inside them, not shorter and not longer. Our group hero still has this minimum height that we added to stop it collapsing when it was empty. We can remove that now, and you can see the group maintains the same size. We'll configure each section so its height fits its content in the same way, avoiding extra white space or overlap. Next, let's recap the 2 main container types we've been using, because we'll keep applying the same pattern for every new section. First, on our page, we have the outer groups, like group header, group hero, and group services. These are our top-level containers. Each one usually has a container layout of either row or column. In many cases, either will work as long as the alignment and padding are configured correctly. The outer group has a maximum width set to infinite, and that's intentional. We want these outer sections to stretch all the way to the edges of the browser window, no matter how wide the page is. If we set this max width to 1200, you can see that the background no longer stretches to the edge of the screen. I'll set that back to infinite. That lets us create full width background colours or images that extend across the screen while keeping the inner content neatly centred. We've also set padding on these outer groups, 156 pixels on the left and right and 64 pixels on the top and bottom. For the hero, we added 64 pixels to the top padding to accommodate the header, but on group services we kept the top padding to 64. These paddings create consistent spacing around each section and align all the inner content visually. This will make even more sense later when we start looking at grids and design systems. And finally, each outer group has fit height to content set to true. That's how we make sure every section's height adjusts automatically to match its contents, just as we discussed a moment ago. Alright, now let's talk about the inner containers. Inside each of those outer groups, you'll find another group called group container. These inner containers have slightly different settings. They can be either a row or a column, depending on the layout, but their key setting is the maximum width. Each inner container has a max width of 1128 pixels. This ensures that even if someone views your page on a huge monitor, 1600, 1800 or even 2000 pixels wide, your content won't stretch too far. The outer section background still spans the screen, but the content inside stays neatly centered. Now, how did we get that number? It's simply the total page width of 1440 minus the 156 pixels of padding on both sides. You'll also notice the padding on the inner container is set to 0. That's because all the spacing comes from the outer group. We don't need padding here. Keeping it at 0 avoids unnecessary duplication. The idea is to define settings at the highest level possible in your group hierarchy. If the outer group already defines padding, alignment and spacing, everything inside can just inherit it. That keeps your structure clean and easy to maintain. And if you ever find redundant groups that aren't serving a purpose, it's a good idea to delete them. Fewer groups make your app easier to navigate and reduce confusion later. If you'd like, you can take a moment to duplicate your Bubble app file just like I'm doing here. You click on the card here and then the 3 dots to expand the menu and select Duplicate. I'll duplicate mine and rename it so I can keep a clean version of the Module 1 while continuing to build Module 2. You don't need to do that step unless you want to, but it's a handy way to preserve your earlier progress. Now that we've reviewed how these containers work, let's prepare the new sections we'll build in this module. We're going to reuse what we already have. Let's copy one of our existing sections, for example, Group Services. Right-click on Group Services, choose Copy, then right-click on Index in the Elements tree and choose Paste. Doing it that way makes sure the new group lands in the correct place in the hierarchy. If it ends up nested inside another group by mistake, you can just drag it back out. Once it's pasted, we can delete the elements inside it. For example, the heading and the cards, so the group is empty. You'll notice the container collapses because its height is defined by its contents. That's fine. For working visibility, you can temporarily set a minimum height of 200 pixels so you can see it on the page. Now let's make 2 more copies. Right-click, copy, paste, and paste again. Rename them as follows: Group Testimonials, Group Contact Us, Group Footer, We now have all our main groups in place for the testimonials, the Contact Us and the footer. They have the same settings as our previous group, so we know each has the correct structure, layout settings and spacing, ready to build out the remaining sections of the page. So that's everything we need for the setup. In the next lesson, we'll start with the testimonials section and continue refining our landing page.